Video number 1. How cool is this? Welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. I'm Joe, the 50-something dasher, coming to you from Central Ohio. Columbus, Ohio area is my market that I dash in. And kind of want to tell an interesting story from today. It just so happened that on the day I record my first video for this channel, I also get involved in my first car accident as a DoorDash driver. Hit and run. I was in a double lane on the interstate, a double exit lane. And coming to this exit, if you're in the right lane, that's the exit to go south. Left lane is north. I was in the left. I was, getting off an exit to head north. Side by side, and the car with another car. The car beside me, no warning whatsoever, just comes over, hits my sideswipes me, and I start to slow down. There's a little in between the main interstate and these two exit lanes. There is like a little medium there, almost like if you were to pull off onto the side of the interstate. There's kind of like a area that could be used as an emergency pull off. So I start to slow down. She starts to slow down. Now she's behind me. I think we're both getting off or stopping in that medium. And I go to slow down, like I said, but no, she just veers off to the left, back onto the main interstate and speeds away. Unbelievable. And I start to speed up, immediately call 911, get a dispatcher on the phone who tells me to pull over and stop the car. So she's like, we're not going to chase that person or you, so just pull your car off to the side of the road, stop. I waited about a half hour for an officer to get there. First of all, some good Samaritan pulls up about 10 minutes after I stopped. This person was behind us, saw the whole thing, and I can't believe this guy did this, but he must have drove down to the next exit, got off, and did a complete circle around, came up to where I was at, pulled off, and started talking to me, told me he saw the whole thing, gave me his name and number as a witness, and just unbelievable. So it's kind of like, it's refreshing to know that even when there's like real pieces of crap in this world, at the same time, there are still like really good people in this world as well. And I was really thankful what that guy did. And then about 15-20 minutes later, a police officer came and took my report and information and everything. But miraculously, no damage to my car. I couldn't believe it. No damage at all. Hopefully her car was damaged. That's what I'm hoping. But and who knows, maybe she'll come forward with a guilty conscience and contact somebody, and I doubt it, but you never know. But anyway, back to like my notes here for this video. Actually, 50-something dasher was actually my second choice for a name for this channel. My first choice was the walking dasher. And so what that was meant to do was to kind of throw off people when they first seen that, make people think, wait a minute, there's a DoorDash driver that walks to all his deliveries. And that's not what I was meaning by that. The meaning behind that was, I don't like to sit in my car between orders. So a lot of times, if there's going to be an extended wait time between orders, I'll park somewhere and I'll get out of the car and I'll walk around in circles close to my car, and I'll do that, get a little bit of exercise in, stretch, instead of sitting in my car waiting for orders. So that was the whole thing behind the walking dasher. But I told that idea to my wife, and she kind of gave me a look like, okay, that sounds kind of stupid to me. And she kind of talked me out of using that name. So I decided, okay, I'm going to come up with a different name, and whatever I come up with, that's the name I'm going to use regardless of who likes it or not. So 50 something dasher. I turned 51 here in a couple months, so I figured that name is going to be applicable for me for if I dash another 9 years, that name will still apply. So I figured that was a pretty cool name. And for like older dashers, 40s, 50s and above, to kind of see that name and say, oh, here's a channel by a dasher that's somebody in their 50s, and so maybe I can be like a little bit more relatable to people of an older age that are doing this, versus like if people around my age go to watch videos from some of the younger dashers out there, and so that's another reason why I kind of chose that name. So I'm still, time-wise, I'm still relatively new to door dashing. I started December 14th of this past year, 2022. So about 8 months that I've been doing this. But even though in that short amount of time, I'm still over right now 1,600 deliveries. Within a few months after signing on, I became top dasher. I've maintained that status ever since. Also, I'm on the large order program, high priority shopping, the whole ball of wax. So I'll definitely have videos, if you're, as far as my thoughts on all of those different programs, I'll have videos breaking down all of those and how I got onto them and my experiences with each program. And, that's, part of the education I'm, going to try to provide with this channel. Another thing, real quick, I wanted to mention here is I do not multi-app. So I'm probably going to be in the minority as far as the gig tubers out there that I've, the vast majority of the ones that I've watched anyway, but just about all of them, it seems like anyway, are all multi-appers. I am not. So, and of course, later on I'll do a video explaining why I don't multi-app and get more into my experiences and my numbers and why I do things the way I do, etc. So next few things I want to talk about is why I decided to start this channel and kind of like what to expect going forward. First and foremost, when I first started dashing, that first couple months, YouTube videos from the other gig tubers I can't tell you how extremely helpful that was to me. That was so helpful, and thank you so much for all the other gig tubers out there, the work that you do, the hard work that goes into this. I hope that I can, just come somewhat close to matching the commitment and the effort that some of you guys have put into this. But I watched, several different content creators and drew a little bit here and there from different things, different tips, tricks, strategies that all these different content creators put out there. And like I said, I kind of took the best pieces of information from here and there and everywhere and kind of put everything together to kind of help me develop my strategy, and it helped me a lot, tremendously. And again, thank you. And so now that I've been doing this several months, And I've had I've been more successful at this than I originally thought that I was going to do. And just to give you an example, my wife, when I very first started doing this, she predicted I'd do about 30 orders and quit. Well, we're at over 1,600 now. So, and it's, no ending in sight for me. So, I now feel like that I can now contribute some of those tips and tricks that I've learned. Some things that I'm going to talk about is probably a lot of common knowledge stuff that's already been talked about, but I'll give my opinions on everything. And also I felt that, like I said earlier, I felt that maybe the way that I create videos and the way I explain things will connect to a certain audience. And it's just the way this goes. It's just like when I first got onto YouTube looking at DoorDash videos. I watched a whole bunch of different people, and some content creators I learned from more than others. Some I liked more than others. Some I subscribed to, some I didn't. I mean, you know how it goes. So hopefully I can connect to a broad enough audience and this can be successful and the channel can grow. We'll hope for the best here. So I'll share my thoughts on some of the familiar topics. Like I got in my notes here, like for instance, earn by time versus earn by offer, top dasher, acceptance rate, completion percentage, all these different topics that the other gig tubers talk about with regards to DoorDash and delivery driving. All hit on all of these familiar topics as well and give my opinions. But as well as some topics that I don't see talked about a whole lot by these other content creators. And some of the examples of those are ratings tracking. And I'm talking about the customer rating and tracking your negative ratings. And the proper use of reporting when a store is closed. Like I've done over 1,600 deliveries and I've never once gone to use the option where to report that a store is closed. And I'll do a video about that and explain what I mean by that. And 10-minute drops. And if you're wondering, well, what's he talking about, a 10-minute drop? I'm talking about being able to drop an order after 10 minutes without having it impact your completion percentage. And just from my experience, 99% of the dashers out there have never heard about that, don't know what it is. I don't know why it's not more common knowledge than what it is. But again, that's one of the kind of like lesser known topics that I'll be talking about. And maybe, some other various different things like that a lot of people don't know. For example, I was talking to a veteran dasher today that has like 8 or 9 times more deliveries than I do. He's over 9,000 deliveries in this market. He didn't know about the $10 coupons that DoorDash sends out for their store every like 6 to 8 weeks. In just a short amount of time I've been dashing, I've got several, free hot bags. I've gotten, free clothing and, all kinds of free stuff. And that's another thing. I'll talk about my gear and my equipment and how most of it I didn't pay for. And, maybe a lot of you don't know about that either. So, now, the next thing I want to talk about is, at least initially, there is going to be a delay in my posting of videos. So for instance, this video right now is being shot on August 17th, 2023. And there's a few reasons why I'm doing this, and I'm not sure at the time of this filming. I'm not sure. It might be 2 or 3 weeks before I actually post this video to the channel. It may end up being a couple months. The latest is going to be like the end of January 2024, but I don't think I'm going to go that far out. But like I said, there's a few reasons for that. The primary reason is I just now assembled all the various like recording equipment and like, you know, editing software and those types of things. I basically only just now, actually today, I got the last piece of equipment that I had ordered. It's a charger. And so I haven't, some of this new equipment, I just kind of tested a little bit. I haven't really used these things very much at all yet. So I wanted to do some recordings, do some ride-along videos, do some of my editing, you know, put several of these videos together first, get a good feel for what I'm doing before I actually go to post something. So that's the primary reason why I'm waiting. So again, as far as like the couple different types of videos I want this channel to have, I already talked about the first and foremost is like the informational videos, where I go over all the different, you know, topics and aspects of the job and everything. And then I also want to do some ride-alongs as well. And I typically dash 4 days a week. My W-2, I work 3 days and I dash the other 4, typically. So I'm not sure if, and again, that's something I won't know until I actually start doing it, and you know, how difficult it is for me in the beginning to use this equipment and do everything. So we'll see if I do, like, if I record my dashes every day, or I might choose to do a couple a week, or, you know, we'll see how it goes. But I want to record my dashes and kind of like assemble like each day the highlights of that dash and post those videos. Maybe it'll be like, you know, an hour and a half or whatever of the kind of like the highlights of that dash. Because it is, I enjoy watching those from other dashers as well, like while I'm dashing, because it is very entertaining. And it's like, with this job, it's like every day something different happens. Like today, perfect example, I got somebody hit and ran on me. And tomorrow it'll be some other kind of weird, unusual thing probably. Since I've been doing this in December, rarely do I have a day where it's just pick up from a restaurant, deliver it, pick up from that restaurant, deliver it, where it's just ho-hum, you know, standard operating procedure throughout the day. Every day there's something like different, and, you know, I run into different things, and I think it'll make for some, you know, pretty entertaining videos, hopefully, that I'll be posting here. And then if all goes well, later on down the road, if the channel becomes popular, you know, I get enough viewers, subscribers, participation, things like that, you may see me like collaborating with other gig tubers, that type of thing. You know, maybe, you know, some of them will come in on some of my videos, and vice versa. I can, maybe once or twice a week, I can start doing like live videos, where I interact with, you know, whoever comes in and joins on live videos. Hopefully I'd be very interested in doing something like that. So hopefully let's get this channel up off the ground, get some subscribers, get some viewership, and see what happens. Uh-oh, I'm being joined by another car here. Wrap this up here. And then, yeah, so definitely, like I said, like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment. And I wanted to mention also that I work, I have the W-2 and I have DoorDash. I typically work 60, 70 hours a week plus. I may not have time to respond to all the different comments on my video, but one thing I wanted to mention is my email address will be made available, and I wanted to let you guys know that I will respond to every single email. That's very important to me. I used to run a website for about 10 years. I'll talk about that more in the next video, and more of my background in the next video. But I always responded to people. My view on this is, if you're getting into this kind of a space where you're doing something to reach out to other people and you're trying to provide information to other people or that type of thing, or just reaching out and forming a new community, this type of thing, it's very important that you respond to people. I mean, it seems pretty basic to me, but I know with some of these other gig tubers, a couple of them I would reach out to by email. I did have some of them respond to me, but also I had others who just flat out ignored my email and didn't respond. And that kind of thing just really rubs me the wrong way. So I will respond to all emails. Now I'm talking like legitimate emails where, say for instance, hey Joe, this is Bob from Nebraska. I watch your channel. I had a couple of questions about something that you said in your video, or I had this or that to ask you about. I'm talking about those type of emails. I'm not talking about an email that I might receive that looks like somebody trying to sell something, or clearly looks like spam or some kind of junk mail. I'm talking about like a legitimate looking email where somebody has a question or asking about something. Those emails, I'll respond to every single one. And lastly, make sure, like I said, to check out my second video that I'll be posting about this. That'll talk a lot about my background and everything kind of leading up to, how I became a dasher, and kind of like my timeline, so to speak, of my dashing journey up to this point. Again, thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching it. I hope you watch, more of hope you like the video and subscribe and watch my future videos as well. And like I said, let's get this channel started. So long for now.